The Full Melt Show is intended for a mature audience. It contains adult themes, adult content, and sometimes adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
It's the Full Melt Show.
Are you high? What are you talking about?
This is the Full Melt.
Give me a break. The Full Melt Show. A marijuana discussion about news, culture, politics, and lifestyle. FullMelt.com. Toll free. 844-420-TALK. 844-420-TALK.
All right. Good morning. Welcome to the Rock and Rollers of Mid-Michigan as we roll up our sleeves and punch that sucker known as MiLegalize right in the nose. Punch her square in the nose with as many signatures as we can pull in. I can tell you it's been a non-stop effort for me for several days in a row now. This is the Full Melt Show. I'm Steve Green. Good morning. It's just after 7 o'clock. We're busy working all day and all night. You can hear the generator outside pumping electricity this way. I'm hoping to pump some electricity your way this morning, if it's at all possible. If I can send electrical energy down these lines to you through the airwaves, over the internet, whatever it ends up being, and get you to help us make progress on bad public policy in Michigan. And also at the same time, get in line with other states and the rest of the country on this issue. You know, the government here in Michigan, it wants to call itself conservative. Bullshit. It wants to call itself massive in way of political support. Bullshit. Just calling out what it is. Look, you can't substitute money for popularity or support. You can't. If that was the case, Donald Trump would be president all frickin' ready, right? He thinks he's going to get there to be president. The polls say he's going to get there to be president, but I'll tell you what I already know. Donald Trump will never be president of this country. You know why? Well, besides the fact that he's an asshole. He's a rich asshole. Besides that fact. It's not besides, it's beside. Beside that fact. If somebody's standing beside you, not besides you. I'm a grammar Nazi. I can't stand it when people don't use language properly. Look, language is a powerful tool. What do you think I'm using right now? I'm using words and deeds to motivate people. And I'm rather successful at that. The problem being you can't motivate people if they don't effing care. And there's a lot of people on both sides of this fence that really just don't effing care. I'll tell you what, you won't see Bill Schuette staying up 8 days in a row trying to make effect on stuff. He'll send cronies out to do that. Well-rested cronies. I mean, he's got, as long as you give him the power, he's going to wield it. And then cobble it together with whatever else he can to pretend that he can exhibit more power than he actually has. I'm making predictions all along the line here. I'll just give you the one prediction here before we start getting going. Because, let me see if we can get the saga underway. I played this yesterday, but I don't know how well it went. Let me just reiterate for the sake of clarity what it is we're trying to, impart this morning. What are we trying to translate to you or relate to you, I guess? Some of it is translation. Some of it is relation. So I guess it's both. But let me see if I can't pull up the story. This happened yesterday. Came out, was according to Fox 2. And I'm going to play the the tape for you this morning that Fox 2 came out with. This was posted December 14th, so it was 2 days ago at the 11 o'clock news. So it's a little over a day old, this story. I'll just see if I can't call it up for you and play it here for you now. Oh, see, there's a commercial first. There wasn't a commercial yesterday. They've managed to slide some spots in there. It's a short one, frankly, because it's internet related. It's Sam Bernstein, call 1-800-CALL-SAM. I mean, that's what it is. Here you go.
Some Detroit pastors are on a mission to wipe out weed dispensaries in the city. They're concerned the booming cash crop is harmful to the community, leading to an increase in crime. Fox 2's Taryn Asher live in the newsroom tonight with more on their push against pot.
Well, it may be big business, but the coalition of concerned pastors feel the medical marijuana dispensaries are creating big problems in the city of Detroit. They want them shut down.
Wait. How did that happen? That's making me mad. Look, I didn't tell you to go anywhere. I mean, I didn't. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, the thing disappears. Damn it. I mean, this is what I fight here out on the road, is stupid shit like this. Here we go again. Let's see if it's going to make us play the Sam Bernstein. See, there we go with the stupid Bernstein commercial. I'll just do it for you. 1-800-CALL-SAM, 1-800-CALL-SAM, 1-800-CALL-SAM. Sam Bernstein, he'll fix you with the, injury, personal protection, lawyering you may need. There you go. You got your commercial and on.
Some Detroit pastors are on a mission to wipe out weed dispensaries in the city. They're concerned the booming cash crop is harmful to the community, leading to an increase in crime. Fox 2's Taryn Asher live in the newsroom tonight with more on their push against pot.
Well, it may be big business, but the coalition of concerned pastors feel the medical marijuana dispensaries are creating big problems in the city of Detroit. They want them shut down.
They say they've had enough of the smell, the additional crime, and what it's doing to Detroit's youth. That's why the Detroit Coalition of Concerned Pastors is pushing the city council to shut down the nearly 200 medical marijuana dispensaries that now line city streets.
We don't need this in our community, period.
The state of Michigan did not authorize any to open, neither did the city of Detroit authorize anyone or zone any of them to open, and they're popping up all over the place, and it's a problem, it's a nuisance.
Pastor Darrell Reed says he knows firsthand there are 2 medical marijuana dispensaries right next door to his congregation, the Spirit of Love Church on Mack Avenue. At the very least, he says, these businesses need strict regulations.
We can smell marijuana in the lobby of our church when we come in, and it's just bad. We now have to have armed security because of the dispensaries. It's a problem.
Workers at the All Natural Collective chose not to defend their business.
Oh, hell no.
But customer Nick Rigel did.
How can you, if people need help, and this is the only thing that helps them, how can you take that from them? That's wrong. You can't tell them what medication is good. In that case, shut down all pharmacies.
When we recognize that most of our African American boys can't even get jobs because they can't pass the drug test, because they feel that it's okay to smoke marijuana.
Pastor Marvin Winans doesn't believe the dispensaries are just for patients, but providing others with pot for recreational use. Pastors are declaring war on the dispensaries, and many residents who attended the religious rally are now ready to go to battle.
The violence that's associated with it, plus from there to there isn't even a national grocery chain, but yet and still we got all of these marijuana places that just, I can get that before I can get something to eat. Makes no sense.
Now, the pastors plan to attend the Detroit City Council meeting on Thursday to speak out at the public hearing. They say if they can't get the council to shut down these businesses, they want them to pass Ordinance 61 that would create very strict regulations and really limit the amount of dispensaries out there. Monica, back to you.
Well, that woman makes a very interesting point, Taryn. There are not even enough grocery stores in the city, but plenty of these dispensaries.
Yes, and that's what a lot of people are concerned about. The pastor said they have the numbers. Only 12,000 people with medical marijuana cards in Wayne County, but in Detroit, 200 dispensaries. He feels that the supply just simply outweighs the demand.
Yeah, that seems pretty lopsided to me.
No, it's not lopsided at all, Monica. You jackass, you dumb bitch. I'm sorry, Monica. Don't be a dumb bitch. I mean, Monica's in the Billy Bong song. I'll play it for you in just a minute. It's the Billy Bong song. We made the Billy Bong song about Billy Bong. That's Bill Schuette's nickname in college. Bill Schuette, if you talk to his roommates, if you talk to the people he grew up with, if you talk to his family members, they'll candidly reveal to you that Bill Schuette is a pot smoker. Really always has been a pot smoker. He won't admit it to you, but I'll tell you right now, if you went down there and dropped Bill Schuette, you might find stuff in his urine that he wouldn't tell you about. I'll tell you that right now. Stop pandering to the bullshit, Monica. Look, Monica, I can't pick on Monica because Monica's just reading a damn teleprompter, right? Somebody wrote that news for her. You can't sit there and say, look, you just said there are 12,000 medical marijuana patients in Wayne County. Tell me where the people in Wayne County are going to get their marijuana. There's almost 200 shops. Why? Tell me how economics is thrown out of kilter with 200 stores serving 12,000 patients. I mean, we have 100,000 or more patients in the whole state. 1/10 of them are in Wayne County. So the fact that you don't have a national store, a national chain, a grocery store in your area is indicative of the populace not being worthy of having a chain there. If you come to the chain and you steal from them, they're not going to frickin' open. You know who's not stealing from marijuana dispensaries? Nobody. Nobody's stealing from marijuana dispensaries because they have armed guards and you walk through there, it's like a bank. It's not that way with the meat at the Kroger's. They just stuff it down their pants and walk out the door. If you continue to steal the food, they will not come. The pot shops are there because nobody steals from them. This is simple supply and demand, economics, logic. Stop twisting it for your political motive or because it's an easy, sexy sell. Oh, yeah, it sounds like to me there shouldn't be any pot shops since there's not any damn grocery stores. No, do the right thing and go support your grocery stores and they will frickin' come. But if you're busy chasing people around the store, they're not going to, because they're trying to get you for something, and then you're hauling them off to jail because they're shoplifting, you'll never have a grocery store in your city. All you're going to have is the mom and pop stores who are third party that are upcharging. It's mostly non-perishable food, and they're going to get you for the price, and you ain't stealing from them because they got a double barrel behind the freaking counter. Take from me, and I'm pulling out my double barrel. That's what it's going to come down to in Detroit. It's what it always has been for the past, ever since the 60s, for crying out loud. Ever since they were rolling tanks down the streets of Detroit, this has been an issue. So I'll play you, a little bit of Monica earlier, on in the seasoning of the Michigan Medical Marijuana Act. She talks about the medical marijuana shops popping up all over Detroit. And then you'll hear Bill Schuette saying, look, I voted for medical marijuana, but I got guns pointed to this lady's daughter-in-law's head. I mean, it's all nonsense. It's all a farce. You better put your guns down, and you better pick up the little reflector that goes on your forehead so that you can see that these are sick medical people. Look, a lot of the people that have left Detroit are those that are disabled, the elderly, those who are feeble, who've been made infirm by life. That's why they haven't left Detroit, because they're going to die there, that's why. And they're poor, and they don't have much to work with, and they're housebound. A lot of these people that live in Wayne County are homeless, some of them. Go walk downtown in Detroit and tell me how many homeless people there are. Walk any major city in Michigan and tell me there aren't homeless people walking the streets. I know there are because I've been out in them the past several days collecting signatures, and the homeless people are out there wanting to sign. They want to sign it up because they understand the impact. They're a representative of the impact of bad public policy. And you're not going to stop people from using drugs of any kind. You've never made a dent in this whole The drug war has no casualties except citizens. And they're busy, the spoils of war go to the victor. Well, right now the victor is by force the government. And all those spoils are going to them. It's not, you're not waging war on drugs. You're waging war on your own populace. Cut it the F out already. So we're out here in this marathon 8-day broadcast for MiLegalize. I'm Steve Green. You're listening to The Full Melt Show. Good morning. That Massachusetts accent, if you're going to say decade. I can't do I'm really good at accents. I can't do it this morning. Number one, my mouth is sore. Number two, my voice hurts terribly. Because I've been flapping this jaw for, ever since last Friday. At 1 o'clock in the morning, I was up here collecting signatures and bellowing into this microphone. At 7 o'clock this morning, I'm still doing just that. And I'm not going to stop. I'm going to see if I can log into the computer at home, back in the home studio, since we have nobody there this morning to make that magic happen. It seems that we've ran into a couple of brick walls. Some people who are not owning up to responsibility and seem like they maybe never have had any responsibility. Trying to teach them some along the way, but not at the expense of this program or its achievements or goals. If you're going to step in the way of this show's goal achievements, you're going to step in the way of a mighty force, and it's going to hit you like a train. Seriously. I've got way too much time and effort and other people's money and time and effort invested into this to let you even think about standing in front of this train. It's going to mow you over. Get the F out of the way. Just warning you now. Oh, I am not an angry man. I am a happy man this morning. I want to throw my arms up and celebrate. Because we are going to, my voice sounds like I'm angry. I'm not through this ragtag, haggard, abused voice box. I mean, my vocal cords are shredded. I usually have this rich, deep, comforting and soothing voice if I use it that way. I couldn't squeeze out a comforting sound if I won't even say it. There's no comfort in this at all. Where are we at on time? We got time? I'm going to see if I can squeeze in a Billy Bong song. You want to do the Billy Bong song? I think it's a good idea. Because this is in honor of Monica Gale, who's got to read from the teleprompter because, I don't know, does Monica have any personal opinions or feelings? I'm not sure. I'm going to play the Billy Bong song here. You can tell that she's there because the pot shops are popping up everywhere.
We're working to end these conflicts.
People say,
Everybody pay attention now.
Popping up.
pot shops, everywhere I go.
Shooty.
Everywhere I go, pot shops, pot shops.
In several towns.
Drug houses, pot shops. Pot shops. Drug houses.
In several towns.
Medical marijuana. Bill, I voted medical marijuana everywhere I go. Medical marijuana drug houses. Medical marijuana drug houses. But
Clarify Michigan's medical marijuana laws.
I voted for, people say, Bill, I voted.
Voters approved medical marijuana in 2008.
But
We're working to end these conflicts.
Drug houses, pot shops.
I'm not considered in a closed lock facility, therefore I cannot use the medical marijuana defense.
We're working to end these conflicts.
Here in Michigan, oftentimes people feel like they're alone.
Will the Lincoln County Sheriff's Department have guns to my daughter-in-law's head?
Pot shops. Drug houses.
Medical marijuana dispensaries have been popping up in several towns.
Bill, I voted medical marijuana everywhere I go. Medical marijuana drug houses. Medical marijuana drug houses. But I voted for the people say, I voted for legalization of marijuana.
And it is my obligation to my country and my people to stand up, and fight for the medicine that we need.
We voted it in. We're working to end these conflicts. Let us do it.
But.
Guns to my daughter-in-law's head.
Bill, I voted.
There are more penitentiaries being built in America than there are schools.
I'd be sad, just as sad as he would be if he lost custody of me. Because my dad has had me for 10 years. I don't want to lose my dad. I don't want to lose my family.
Bill Shithead, that's what that is. BS. Those are his initials. Why don't you look at that closely and understand what it is? Because that's what it is. It's what it is. We did that song some 3+ years ago. The people that are in there talking about fighting Bill Schuette and Mike Bouchard, specifically Barb Agro, she's the one that's saying they had guns to my daughter-in-law's heads. And I wasn't in a closed lock facility because they went into my house while I wasn't there after raiding my granddaughter's house. My husband, who's now late because you killed him. You killed him. I mean, you didn't shoot him. He had a heart attack a couple of days later. You killed Sal Agro. That blood is on your hands, Mr. Mike Bouchard. And you ought to be ashamed leaving a 70-year-old woman widowed and charging her instead. Today, right now, she's still, to this day, fighting. She's in court, in trial. There are people from that incident at Clinical Relief in Ferndale from 3 and 4 years ago, still to this day, trying to clear their good name. Look, it's ridiculous. We don't need to know what's in Barb Agro's urine. And it's a lot of nonsense. You're not putting that woman in jail. Be right back.
You're getting the full melt.
At book club, they were asking me what you're doing now, Janice.
Blogging. Your blog is just pictures of you in a mirror.
It's called a fashion blog, Todd. Well, I've been helping people save money with Progressive's discounts. Flo, can you get Janice a job?
You should have stuck to softball. I was so much better at softball than Janice did.
Where's your wife, Todd?
Vacation.
Discounts like homeowners, multi-policy. I got a discount on this ham.
I've got the meat sweats. It's good ham, Diane.
Paperless discounts. Give it a rest, Flo.
Yeah, Flo, give it a rest.
Hey, it's Steve Green for the Sweet Leaf in Flint, because now getting safe access to medical cannabis patients in Flint, Michigan is never more welcoming. Presenting the Sweet Leaf, a brand new patient experience bringing 12 carefully selected caregivers housed in 9 separate offices to distinctly assist you with their knowledge and reputation for excellent patient care. Classes and training come coming soon in the large community room. Check it out in person, 400 South Fort Highway, or call 810-259-2571. The Sweet Leaf Center in Flint, 810-259-2571.
What's up with these things, Victor?
We decided to give ourselves as traders we'd want to use.
10,000 suggestions. Who reads all of those?
He does.
For all the confidence you need, TD Ameritrade, you got this.
If you're like us, your pets aren't just animals. They're members of your family. Pet Pain CBD hemp oil drops are great for aging as well as active dogs and cats. Some people are apprehensive about hemp treatments for pets. They ask us, what are you smoking? Absolutely nothing, and neither will your pet. Like other hemp-based products for humans, the allure is all of the benefits of cannabis without any of the high. The CBD oil has shown to rejuvenate the bones, joints, brain, stomach, eyes, and heart. And the drops contain absolutely no corn, wheat, soy, artificial colors and flavors, or preservatives. Pick some up today. Visit petpain.com or ask for Pet Pain at your local pet store.
4 hours away. But that doesn't matter because we are out here in a mobile travel trailer in the petpain.com studios live with a generator, a couple of dogs, some cannabis medicine in here for ourselves. Look, we're registered patients here. And you know what? I should just enjoy some cannabis myself just because. In celebration of what's about to come, I suppose. You know, cannabis has always been medicinal. It's always been celebratory. Just like alcohol, it's always been part of Americana. It's been part of our history. It's been part of our culture. And to systematically attempt to lob some of that history and culture off, some of that tradition off, by confusing the public and twisting it for your own money-making methodology is un-American, and it's treasonous. Because you're subverting the issues and wills of government for public good to the benefit of a few people. And it's usually industry and special interest that has been grinding this subject for 70 years into the face of the wall of resistance on marijuana. And it has nothing to do with kids or public safety or the fabric of society or morals or anything else. This is all about the control of people and cash. And as long as you let them control you, they're going to do it. As long as you give them access to those cash peripherals, they're going to use that money and that power against you. This is your own government, people. Look, if they were coming to your door to get the Xanax out of there that you bought from your friends that you didn't have a prescription for, or if they were busting down your door and shooting your dog in front of your kids and then raiding your place and putting you on the ground, kids and adults alike, with their faces to the ground. We got 3- and 4-year-old kids with their faces on the ground. Put your hands in the air. It's paramilitary action. Policy by letting legislators, instead of giving them legitimate tax dollars to fund themselves with, because they know that you don't like that number, it costs in excess of $100,000 a year for every cop on the streets. Just telling you. It's probably closer to $125,000 or maybe even $150,000 when you add up all the building costs, maintenance, electricity, all the stuff that goes into policing your fine community. And they're going to say, oh, you need the cops. No, you don't need the cops. The cops need you. They need you to keep public policy in the place where marijuana is prohibited because it's the cash cow that keeps them running. No police are out there busting rapes. There's all kinds of rape kits untested. You know why? Because it's a negative cost producer for any agency, the state, the county, the city, wherever they're getting that rape kit tested at. It's cost negative to them. Costs money to process that kit. Costs money to prosecute that crime. Nobody's going to go to the rapist's house and steal his goods. They're not going to go to the rapist's house and take his house and take his bank account and do all this raping and pillaging, plundering, because he raped somebody. He exerted, or she exerted, mostly he, a physical authority over somebody else that they had no right. Defending himself. And the public defender, never were more hollow words in this country. Public defender, my ass. You got no public defender when you're giving them maybe $200. And in some cases, like out there in Livonia, those crazy bastards in Livonia can go F themselves. You go out to Livonia and see if you can get a public defender in court out there. They're going to make you promise to pay the court back. You're fucking indigent. How are you supposed to pay the goddamn court back if you've just passed a test that says you got no fucking money? But somehow it's okay to press these people, grind them through the gears of a system that was made to punish the worst of the worst, the violent ones, the people who are robbing banks, the people who are, taking your car at an intersection at gunpoint, the people who are shooting at Mr. Winans, the guy that you just heard bitch and complain on Fox 2 here just some few minutes ago about the idea that, oh, there's violence around and we can smell pot. You know what? Boo frickin' who? Some of those businesses in Detroit and the landowners and the people that are participating in that commerce and industry are the only frickin' jobs you got in Detroit. What do you want to do? Force those guys out of their jobs and make them go off into the streets and sell more drugs so you can profit from them as well? I have never seen a more corrupt police department in person in my entire life than the city of Detroit police. Those people are so corrupt, I'm more afraid of them than I am the guy on the corner with a gun. I'm serious. Because you know what? The guy on the corner with a gun is going to run when other people show up. He might shoot around, but he's going to run away when other people show up. Until he can get some of his friends to show up en masse too. He's going to run. You get a cop on the corner, and he's not going to run. He's going to stand his ground. He's going to call his buddies, and they're going to come and shoot you down is what they're going to do. They're going to shoot you down, or they're going to corner you and arrest you and process you and take all your money and leave you indigent. They're going to throw you to the wolves, and they're going to say, look, you shouldn't have been out there working with cannabis. You shouldn't have had some of that weed on you. You shouldn't be commercing in marijuana. Really? You shouldn't be, huh? According to whose edict? What is so dangerous about these individuals. There's no danger present at all. Nobody's killing anybody. Nobody's hurting anybody. In fact, the medical patients that are going to these places are saving themselves much grief and agony. I don't have to fight the medical scene. Everybody's familiar. Everybody agrees, according to the polling, about the medical necessity for marijuana. Why else would 23 states already have medical marijuana laws? Why would so many states be working towards, retail cannabis? Because the people there have figured out, look, try and prosecute a pot crime in Denver. Ain't happening. You could have 100 pounds of pot, and they're not prosecuting you. You know why? They're going to try and get you to plead out. They're going to scare the shit out of you. They might even try and turn you over to the feds and let them shake you down, which doesn't do them any good. They're commercing in pot, too. And they're only giving you an example of why they shouldn't be commercing in pot, because you got these guys on the peripheral breaking the law. Breaking Colorado law. I'm just saying, when all is said and done, boy, it's really hot. That thing is it's hot in here. You need to open up the door and spread some wings. In the long run, you're not going to have public safety on the streets if the police are defocused by running around chasing down low-level crimes with no violence involved, no complaints involved, just the fact that somebody's got pot and somebody bought some pot. When there's money attached to that crime, they process that, and the courts make money, the township makes money, the city makes money, the police make money, because they're busy stealing, and it's outright theft. If it wasn't theft, they'd charge you with a crime. They're not charging these people with a crime. They're not raiding these dispensaries and charging the owners. They're raiding the dispensaries, taking their pot and taking their money, and then coming back a couple of months later and doing the same thing again as a cost of doing business. It's a tax. If they were trying to get rid of them, they'd charge them, close them down, and prosecute them. That's not what's going on. You know why? Because it's too expensive, and Kim Worthy ain't got the time for that shit. That's why. Kim Worthy, the prosecutor in Wayne County, does not have the time to chase around these pot people. She does not. And she will make you plead those cases out, or she will drop those charges. So, 1 in 5 murders even has a suspect. If you extrapolate, if these same murders were high level or even mid level drug crimes, you would find a 90% prosecution rate. 90% of those complaints or those cases would be adjudicated with a suspect being guilty in one form or another, whether he admitted his own guilt or whether he was forced into saying he was guilty so he wouldn't get a worse charge, or scared with the bigger charge that never existed and couldn't. Don't
Welcoming, presenting the Sweet Leaf, a brand new patient experience bringing 12 carefully selected caregivers housed in 9 separate offices to distinctly assist you with their knowledge and reputation for excellent patient care. Classes and training coming soon in the large community room. Check it out in person, 400 South Door Highway, or call 810-259-2571. The Sweet Leaf Center in Flint, 810-259-2571.
If you're like us, your pets aren't just animals. They're members of your family. Pet Pain CBD hemp oil drops are great for aging as well as active dogs and cats. Some people are apprehensive about hemp treatments for pets. They ask us, what are you smoking? Absolutely nothing, and neither will your pet. Like other joints, brain, stomach, eyes, and heart. And the drops contain absolutely no corn, wheat, soy, artificial colors and flavors, or preservatives. Pick some up today. Visit petpain.com or ask for Pet Pain at your local pet store. Petpain.com. CBD relief for your pet.
It's the Full Melt Radio Show. All right, so we're out here on the broadcast from hell. It's the marathon broadcast to collect signatures for MiLegalize to legalize marijuana in 2016 for adults 21 and over.
I'm on need someone to help me. I'm on a need.
You know, I'm going to play that song. I'm going to play that song in a little while, this son of a bitch, give me a drink song. Number one, it's a great morning song. Not because everybody wants to get up and drink in the morning, because I'm not a drinker, and I don't think anybody should be drinking in the morning, but responsible adult use of alcohol is your business. It's not mine. Just because I don't drink at all. And it's not because I've ever had a problem with booze. I just don't like it. It takes me out of control. It makes me make bad decisions. I don't like the way it makes you feel the next morning if you've overdone it. You've got a hangover. I've never been hungover from weed ever. Never once in my life. So I just thought it's my personal choice not to use alcohol because I don't like it. If I get behind the wheel, it's not good for me. I'm all over the road. I've got a low tolerance because I just don't deal with it. Other people are like that with marijuana. There's no difference between these two substances when you're talking about adult responsible use and its effect on society. They're exactly the same. And you know, people want to say, oh, well, alcohol's been traditional. They had alcohol in the Bible. Yeah. So frickin' what? I mean, it was a basis of the reason they had alcohol in the Bible is because a lot of the water around there you couldn't drink, you'd get sick from it. You get dysentery and all kinds of stuff and end up dead. Back in those days, drinking the local water might be a death sentence unless you boil it and cool it. And what are you doing? And these are really almost prehistoric times, aren't they? I mean, it's really almost pre-recorded history. It's barely recorded. They recorded this stuff on papyrus reeds. I mean, there was no printing available. There were no cultures that could print yet. These were handwritten instruments on papyrus. Difficult to preserve. It's just maddening, some of what people do. There's tradition in alcohol, and there's just as much. I would argue that the burning bush in the Bible is indeed the cannabis plant. Not kidding you. There are tons of references in the Bible. If you know anything about verses, you can easily read into them the cannabis input in the Bible. It's sprinkled throughout, here and there, just like everything else. It doesn't focus on any one thing. It focuses on a broad application of what religious culture wants to say society should be for the benefit, growth, and admiration of said culture. It's self-love, so to speak. Love your neighbor, do good to each other, don't murder, don't rape, don't steal. I mean, these are all just basic Hammurabi-type legal codes, aren't they? You go look up Hammurabi, the Hammurabi Code. Now, you're laughing because I said Hammurabi? Yeah. Are you familiar with Hammurabi's Code? No. See, I'm a smart guy, and I went to college. I learned some of this stuff. I learned a lot of this outside of college. I probably could have tested out of a lot of college classes because I'm that inquisitive. I'll go conduct my own experiments. I'll go find the truth for myself. I know how to do it. I'm expertly skilled at separating the wheat from the chaff, so to speak, when it comes to finding the truth. You can mire it in all kinds of other stuff, but I'm going to dig down to the bottom and find out what's at the roots of that cause. I'm not going to treat the symptoms. I'm not just going to spray some stuff on the top. I'm going to go down to the roots where the source is and find out what's happening. That's what you do. You think I'm kidding? Go look up Hammurabi's Code. I'm just kidding. I'm just saying. The Hammurabi's Code is like the first real legal code. It's the first real civilian laws that are not religiously based. They're the first secular laws in a written, coded way, and they're basically the fundamentals that are prescribed in most religious texts and some of the same traditions we have today. You know, it's basically the 10 Commandments rewritten in another way. Maybe a couple of extra commandments nobody ever thought about. I'm not kidding. So if you want to be a part of this morning, you know, first off, after the next, I'm gonna blow off a couple of breaks here this morning, and I'm just gonna drag some people on the air because I'm tired of it. So we're loosely connected here with our local broadcast trailer. This is the PetPain.com mobile studios. PetPain.com sponsoring a lot of our regular activity. They got to come along for this ride for free because, they're already sponsors. Some people came on board simply because we're doing this MiLegalize campaign. Our goal on this tour is to collect 5,000 signatures from 4 different cities. We started last Friday in Royal Oak. We went from there to Burt's Warehouse Theater in Detroit, collected some more signatures on Saturday. Then we boosted out to Lansing and hung out in front of the Puffin Stuff and the fine folks there. Got visited by media, got visited by, some other local people in the industry. Shook hands, made friends, banded together, coalition formed. Addition to the coalition. The coalition is to end the prohibition of cannabis in Michigan and to tax and regulate it responsibly for adult use 21 and over. That's all it is. And it also it takes away from police the ability to jail you or to persecute you or to wrap you up in the criminal justice system and grind you through the gears of probation and piss testing, trying to get you into other trouble, taking your money, then forcing you to watching you squirm as you try and come up with money to pay an attorney, which you don't have and probably can't raise. The deck is stacked, I'm telling you. What we got here looks like going up on 7:57 in the morning. So we got 3 minutes? So after the top of the hour, I'm going to go see. So what I said was we're loosely connected to this studio is loosely connected to our at the studio has it put together. So there's some kind of mask. It has to do with an IP address. There's some kind of thing in place that prevents me sometimes from dialing in outside, and I have to have Comcast go in and fix that and reset it, so to speak. Right now, when I try to dial in, and I need to dial in there if I'm going to use the phone lines, if I'm going to invite you in on the national 800 lines, I have to be able to dial into that computer. And right now, that mask needs reset, and I've got to call Comcast to get it fixed. So, my previous experience, and this is just an example, and it relates to this show in this way. Number one, we use them, we pay them to do a certain job, right? To give us access to the internet and to allow us access from different ways. one of those ways is to remotely dial into your computer and connect to it and control it from afar. You can do this with your smartphone. You can do it with some web software, or sometimes some downloaded and installed software on another PC or a Mac. It doesn't matter, on another computer. It could be done from a laptop. I mean, if you can do it from your smartphone or a tablet, it's not rocket science. But some of the more technical aspects of internet connectivity, and you have to go to the experts and the pros. And I'll tell you, this is an example of corporate pigism. Comcast is. And they can sue me all they want. I don't care. Go ahead and sue me. I got nothing you can take. Really. Come after me. I don't care. I won't even defend it. I'll just go ahead and haul it off, and you're going to, your attorneys are eventually going to drop it because they're like, there's nothing to get out of this. It's not a crime to talk about people. You might be able to sue them civilly for it, but if there's nothing to get in the long run, who are you suing? Go ahead and sue me. So I'm gonna go ahead and call Comcast, and I'm gonna air the whole thing live, because this is the kind of thing that big industry and government have married together. And you know what you get when you marry big industry and government? You get an oligarchy, right? We'll talk about the economics of cannabis and also do this Comcast call right after the top of the hour break here. Here we go.
The Full Melt Show is a production of TFM Media.
And here we go. What is going on? What? There's a delay here. Delay.
The Full Melt Show is intended for a mature audience. It contains adult themes, adult content, and sometimes adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
It's the Full Melt Show. Are you high? What are you talking about?
This is the Full Melt.
The Full Melt Show. A marijuana discussion about news, culture, politics, and lifestyle. FullMelt.com. Toll free. 844-420-TALK. 844-420-TALK.
It's the marathon broadcast to legalize cannabis in 2016. We're down here at the front of the Sweet Leaf at 400 South Thornton Highway. Collecting signatures 24 hours a day, round the clock, to make it convenient and easy for you to sign the petition to legalize cannabis in 2016. What's that going to do? That's going to get you a lot. It's going to get the government to stop wasting your tax dollars and perhaps start spending them more efficiently in places that they need to be spent, on violent crimes and on offenses that mean something to the community at large. And I'm not saying that drug crimes, so to speak, don't necessarily mean something to the community at large. They certainly do. It's just that you handle it as a society in this country in an ineffective and unhealthy way, because there's money to be made as long as you handle it that way, right? Here's a quick example, and then I got to move on to call Comcast, because I'm going to blow off all the commercials, and I swear to God, it might be a 2-hour call with the Comcast people. And I'm just going to expose to you the ridiculousness with which these people operate. I'm a U.S. citizen paying U.S. dollars to a U.S. company for a U.S. service, and if you call this company for technical service or advice, or if you call them for billing questions, if you do a lot of these calls are outsourced, and they're not outsourced by hiring people in another country in your human resources department as employees, because they're not doing that. They're hiring another company in another country to by contract. That's right. To do what they're supposed to do, to carry out the duties and responsibilities that Comcast has with you as a service provider. And they're doing this for a reason, because they're greedy bastards. This is how they got enough money to buy NBC Universal. I'm just telling you the truth. If Comcast wants to come back and argue with me, they can. Send a spokesperson. I dare you. I double dog dare you to send a spokesperson on this program and tell me how you are not wasting your own customers' money, and you're busy off spending it in other places and defocusing away from your core customers. Just going to give you an example. And I'm not picking on Comcast, because this is picking on corporate America. You call AT&T, got the same problem in a different way. Call Verizon Wireless, got the same problem in a different way. If you call any of these big, large companies that are service providers, call ADT. It's got the same problem in a different way. You're not going to find any supportive U.S. people there. And if you do, it's magical. Because it's easier to put the money in your pocket and hire cheaper labor that you can't monitor and control. You've only described to them a duty that they can then game that system on you, make you think they're doing your customers good, but they're not. And I'm just going to skip it right now. I'm going to save you the whole pie and just do it by demonstration. So I'm going to call Comcast right now, and you'll be witness to the entire thing. I'm going to call them because I cannot log in remotely. I need them to reset the modem. And to make it so that I can log in remotely so that I can connect to that studio and control those peripherals independently from a third-party application. But the problem is that the third-party application won't let me in because the way that the system's provisioned, it's gone glitchy, and I can't dial in because it won't see the internet connection. It doesn't see the software that it's looking for because there's some internet blockade in the way that's being caused by some peripheral from Comcast. So the only way that I can fix this is to call them up and try to fix it. So I'm going to expose you to this on the air, and I'm going to go ahead and stop the automation that carries us through the regular, normal radio programming, because that can't happen. I'm just going to put this on the air. It doesn't matter, Bobby. So Robert is supposed to be there this morning, our board op, and God love him. I love Bobby to death, but he's just irresponsible as all get out, and he has no tie. He's never had to be responsible for his life. This is a 33-year-old guy. He's never been responsible. He's never had to be responsible because somebody's always been there to wipe his butt. And now Robert's in a situation where, he's not at home anymore. He doesn't have anybody wiping his butt. He's been out there rough and tumble. I've continued to employ him and give him money to do stuff, and I've gone out of my way to assist Robert. There are a lot of people who will tell you what I've done to help Robert, and Robert's done a lot of stuff to help me as well. I'm not going to shine that down. But the fact of the matter is, he's not showing up to do something really important. It's important to me. It's important to all the other people who've committed to this group of people that are trying to accomplish certain goals here, and that is to collect signatures for MiLegalize. Now, I need him. Now, Robert is a tech guy. I've employed him to be at that location in the studio to help me call through the stuff with Comcast or whatever's going on to make sure that we can connect and get our callers on the air and get the press on the air, all that stuff. Can't do it because he decided after his car broke down that he doesn't want to get up and go out there and do it. It throws to waste all the other work that he's done the past several days, all the effort that's gone into that, and it's all been great. He's been doing some great work. But now he's like, I've had no time to myself. And he says this morning, because I said, listen, this is what I texted him this morning, because he wouldn't get up. And I'm like, screw you then, Robert. I said, none of what you do matters if you don't follow up. Can't count on you because you want no responsibility. You'll completely fail without it. You're a child when you do this. Responsibility isn't an option, Bob. It's a requisite. Might as well just get a stick and a hanky and start walking the railroad tracks. What the F? All your effort the first days are laying waste if you don't finish what you start. I hope you get your shit together, bro. You're not worth anything to anyone if you can't keep your word. Look, I'm only as good as my word, right? If I tell you I'm going to do something and then I don't do it, you're never going to believe me again because I've demonstrated to you that I have no responsibility to my word. And that's what's going on with Bobby. He's got to learn responsibility. He's having a hard time struggling with it. All of this is proof that you'll give it F. And nobody will want to do anything with you or have anything. Nobody cares if you don't even care enough to respect the work of others and yourself. You're screwing other people. You better find a way to fix this or you're in jeopardy if you don't. And it's nothing I did or didn't do. This is all you. And Bobby comes back and says, look, I've had no time to myself. I don't care. I've had no time to myself. I've been doing this for I'll be doing it for 8 days in a row. I'm sure Brian hasn't had any time. He's our other show producer. He's had no time to himself. I haven't had no time to myself. Janine's had no time to herself. The dogs have had no time. Well, the dogs have been, hanging out. So the dogs have had time for themselves. They're dogs. We're just helping them along. My nice memory foam So I'm saying it doesn't matter. You signed up for this. You are not responsible. And only as good as your word. And it's crap. You're going to screw yourself.
Pour gasoline in a machine.
I'm doing this for Bobby's benefit. I'm trying to help Bobby. Trying to help Robert. I've always been there as a friend and a supporter of Robert when nobody else is. He's not like everybody else, but something's got to happen, and somebody's got to smack him around and tell him, look, you got to wake up, or you're going to end up on the street.
But you got to give him a stick once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, give him a stick to beat me back with. I don't care. Throw him a bone. I mean, give him something. But the thing is, if you tell him, hey, you do this and I'll give this to you, or you do this and I'll help you in this way, or I'll help you in this way and then help me. And then he gets what he gets, and then he's like, you know what, I said I'd do this, but you know what, it's too hard right now, and I don't have any time to myself, and I'm kind of tired of this. You know what, it doesn't matter. Everybody's tired. They don't want to get up and go to work in the morning. Nobody does. But they all do it because they got to be responsible. They got kids, they got mortgages, they got a house note, or they got a car note. They got if they want to come home and use their computers or their phones or their TVs, they got to pay these bills. Robert doesn't do any of that. You know who pays Robert's phone bill? I do. It's my phone. I paid him for it. I give him the phone so I get a hold of him. Robert wouldn't have a phone and he'd be in all kinds of danger if somebody didn't help him. And I'm going to stop helping you, Robert, if you don't start helping yourself. You know, it's not charity if I'm busy assisting you and you don't even give a shit about yourself. So, all that being said, I've stopped the automation, so now let's press on with the Comcast call. Let me just ask, is anybody at the studio? I can't tell because I don't know if anybody can hear me or not. So I'm asking Brian if he's at the studio. He said, good morning. And I almost typed God morning. Ugh. Wasn't trying to do that. Getting all secular on your ass this morning. So here we go. I'm going to call the Comcast now since I don't know where the employees are. They're not the employees, and they're not really just employees right now. At this point, they're volunteers until we get money to pay them, right? I mean, we're going to pay them. And I'll pay Bobby for the work that he's done, but it means nothing. I'll pay him in dismay. In fact, he's already been paid. I think if anything, right now, Robert owes me. Trust me, other people will back me on this claim. So Brian's not in the studio. He just confirmed Bobby's not in the studio. I'm just going to press on with Comcast because it's the only choice I have left. So here we go. Here's the grand and magical beginning of this great conversation that should be entertaining as all get out to you. I hope it is, because every time I have to do this, I'll tell you what I spent in excess of 30 hours on the phone. I'm not even kidding them. I've got the phone bill to prove it. I've got the calls to prove it. You want the proof? I'll give you I'll text it. I'll fax it over to you. The hours and hours and hours, chunks at a time. Redials, calling back Comcast until I found satisfaction that should have been found on the first or second call at the most. I understand when there are growing pains in an organization, or when you got to miss an employee who's not doing what they're supposed to be doing. We've got that very example right here. It's not necessarily demonstrative of the rest of what we do here at the show, that one employee or that one helper's work product. We can't depend solely on that. It's a collaboration. I can't do this without a lot of other people. A lot of times I do. This morning I'm doing it by myself. But this requires assistance from other people, and I just want you to hear this from Comcast, because it's this kind of corporate shenanigans. These are the big money players, right? These are the big companies in this country that are screwing you. Walmart's doing it. I mean, all the big box guys are doing it. Amazon's doing it. I thought I got rid of this. I must not have stopped it. All right, we're going to do this then. We'll come back from the break. I'll stop the automation. It'll give you a chance to settle and get ready to do what we're about to do in making this phone call. But if this phone call that I'm about to make live on the program here is demonstrative of anything in the past, you're going to be entertained and you're tickled. You'll find out next.
You're getting the full melt.
Promotional consideration provided by
NoSmell.com, pioneering the storage market for cannabis users. The NoSmell patented bag technology offers users 100% smell-proof detection from even the most sophisticated of noses. NoSmell.com, so nobody knows. When placing your order for a NoSmell bag, make sure to use discount code FULLMELT and take 10% off the entire order. Learn more about NoSmell technology at NoSmell.com.
Got something to hide? Canalock offers discreet and effective storage solutions that destroy odor, so nobody knows. Canalock is a patented charcoal-activated bag that discreetly stores your marijuana. Canalock is made from the same material as military chemical warfare suits. Get yours at Canalock.com. Visit Canalock.com to learn more about no-smell technology.
When you need legal help, you don't want to guess at who's standing next to you in court. And when it comes to a medical marijuana defense, it's even smarter to partner with a lawyer before you need one. Based in Royal Oak, David Rudoy has a proven history of not being afraid to take your case all the way to the Supreme Court and win. Find the law offices of Rudoy
at RudoyLaw.com.
RudoyLaw.com is a quick reference on your rights concerning Michigan medical marijuana
and up-to-date news.
That's RUDOI Law.com. Call 248-935-9074 now and talk about your legal needs, because at RudoyLaw.com, we don't just stand up for you, we stand up with you.
We ask people to tell us something that happened in their past and something that might happen in their future. The good things were put on yellow magnets and the bad ones on blue. The results show the past was a pretty even mix of good and bad, yet the future was almost all good things. Now that you've seen the results of this experiment, what does it mean to you?
We all want to think about positive stuff.
Realistically, there will be downtimes.
It's great to think optimistically, but let's plan for whatever the future might bring.
Prudential, bring your challenges.
It's the Full Melt Radio Show.
Radio Show.
All right, so the fact of the matter is, people don't get paid when they don't do things. Not paying for a job not done means nothing. Go to work. You'll get paid. But not if you screw people. Which is what you're doing. Mostly yourself. So not paying for a job not done means nothing. Go to work, you get paid, but but not if you screw people, which is what you're doing. Mostly screwing yourself. You got to show up to go to work and get paid. End of story. If you're getting in the way of me being able to pay you, you're just screwing yourself. That's what it comes down to. I hope you're listening, Robert. Go figure it out. Don't be in the way of your own paycheck. That's what you are right now. He thinks that I owe him for 70 hours. I told him up front that this is an 8-hour gig day, and that you're getting paid $10 an hour, and that's $640 for the 8 days times 8 hours. It's $640. I'm giving an extra I'm giving him an extra $10 to make it an even $650. And you know what? Robert already owes me. He owes me for running a car around, and he owes me for money I sent him while he was running around, pretending he was going to go find a job somewhere or go land in a place. It was all just a big goose chase of spending his own money and mine. Lost his car in Chicago. We had to go dig it out. I mean, there's a whole bunch of crap tied to me spending money on Robert. You need to go buck up and stop making excuses, Robert. Show up at work and do your damn job. End of story. I'm not talking about it anymore. So, I mean, that's what it is. He's creating his own problem. He doesn't want to be responsible. Well, this is what you get. You're going to get your ass tossed out on the ground because he's living with people he hasn't paid yet. And chances are, at the end of the day, he might try and abscond with that money anyways. Oh, I'm not going to pay you. I lived here for a month, but I'm not going to pay you now because I'm mad. I'm mad because I'm not responsible and I'm not going to show up at work. And I could have had some money for Christmas and I could be getting some money to pay for my rent here, but I'm not going to do that now because I'm too lazy to show up for frickin' work. And then he says this, I've had no time to myself. Oh, boo-hoo. Whiny. 8 hours a day, it's going to kill you. Pull up your bootstraps and go to frickin' work, Bobby. Cut it out already. Nobody wants to hear your whiny crap. He's not. He has no intention of fixing that transmission. He needs to get a new car, and he's not going to get one if he doesn't. Look, somebody was ready to give him a ride over there. Somebody rode him home last night at no expense. They didn't pay for that gas. He didn't do it. Somebody else did. And somebody was ready to give him a ride back to the studio this morning. He would have got a ride back later. He could be doing this. He's just too freaking lazy. Oh, wait, I'm too tired. Bleh. He agreed to come up and show up at work at 5:30 in the morning. He's not doing it. He did it a few days, and now he's like, done. I did it for a few days. Doesn't matter. Anyways, calling the Comcast. I got to stop this automation. Show up down here at Sweetleaf. We're collecting signatures for MiLegalize. 400 South Door Highway in Flint will be here all day and night tonight. I think at the end of the night tonight, we're supposed to break down and go to People's Choice, where we'll be Thursday and Friday. Happy Hump Day to you. So let's get this Comcast call out. Did I stop the automation? I did not. Let's stop it. I keep saying I'm going to do it, and it's not happening. So here we go. Making the call. The beeps probably won't happen on the air. Recent. Let me see where we're at here. I've got a special number for Comcast. There it is right there. There's 4 calls from last night.
Welcome to Comcast, home of Xfinity. If your call is not related to a cable card, please hang up and dial 888. Welcome to Comcast, home of Xfinity. For quality and training purposes, your call may be monitored or recorded.
That's all right, I'm recording it too.
Para español, marque 9. I found an account with house or building number 63 based on the phone number you're calling from. Are you calling for technical support? Please say yes or no. Which service are you calling about today? We're working to restore service and apologize for any inconvenience. We hope to have the problem resolved by 11:33 a.m.
Oh, so that's why. That's why I can't
today.
That's why I can't.
For outage updates and important information about your Comcast service, visit customer.xfinity.com on your smartphone, tablet, or PC. Would you like us to contact you when service has been restored? Please say yes or no. Which would you prefer, a text message or a phone call? Message and data rates may apply. Full terms and conditions for Comcast text services can be found at http://text.comcast.com.
I don't need your freaking commercials, Comcast. Stop giving me commercials while I'm on the damn phone. I'm trying to solve a problem, not listen to your freaking commercials.
Sorry. Just say yes or no. Would you like to receive the text at 8104? Great. You should receive your text when the outage is cleared. If you need help, let me transfer you to a Comcast agent for assistance.
Let's just see if indeed the service is out.
Sorry. Enter or say the last 4 digits of the account. 9224 is. We'd like to get your feedback to help improve our customer service. Would you be willing to participate in a survey after speaking to... Okay, let me transfer you now.
See, I've had to go through 27 prompts. Now watch.
Thank you so much for calling Comcast. My name is Manuel. How can I assist you today?
Manuel, is that your name?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So do I have a U.S. representative or do I have somebody in another country?
Yes, sir. How can I help you?
Okay, you didn't answer the question. I'm looking for a direct answer to a question, and I'm just going to hang up on you if you're not going to be responsive to the questions. Are you in a... Wait a minute. Hey, I'm asking the question here. Why don't you zip it for a minute and let me ask the question, please. Are you in this country or are you in another country? That's all I want to know.
I'm in Latin America, sir.
You're in Latin America. Okay. I'm really trying to reach a U.S. representative. Is there a way that you can get me to one?
Well, I could give you a chance, sir, but I cannot promise you anything.
Okay. Are you a Comcast employee, or are you a employee of another company? Are you just acting on behalf of Comcast, or are you a Comcast employee, if I might ask?
Well, Comcast employee would be in the terms because Comcast is the one who pays me.
So Comcast is employing you then?
Yeah.
They're directly, you're getting a check from Comcast. You're not getting a check from another company.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're an employee. So, I appreciate you answering that question. You didn't have to answer that question. So listen, can you tell me, I've got a problem with service at my residence. It seems like the automated system is trying to tell me that the system is down. And it's unacceptable because it was down this time yesterday. This is Morning Drive. I'm a broadcaster. I use the service for broadcasting. I can't get my phone calls on the air this morning. And so I'm trying to figure out if indeed the service is down there. I can't remote dial in. Sometimes that happens when the service is working. Normally it is. Can you just confirm or deny whether or not the service at my residence, at my business residence are working?
Well, I'm checking over here, sir. Can you please give me your name to confirm if this is the right location that I received?
Yes, my name is Stephen Green. Right? And I'm just going to turn the microphone.
Thank you very much, Miss.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, Mr. Green, I'm checking over here in your location. Well, it seems that, yes, there is a damage in an outage reported over here. It was reported in the morning, estimated time between 7:44. It was reported by a group of technicians, and, well, I know this is very frustrating. This should not happen at all if you already had this issue.
I had this issue yesterday. We went through this yesterday from 6 until 9 in the morning. I'm sorry, from 3 a.m. till 6 a.m. That's what it was. 3 a.m. till 6 a.m. I had no connectivity. I was on the phone for all 3 hours trying to get that resolved.
Well, I'm checking over here. There are two kinds of outages reported. One was reported for an issue related with the loss of connection from our system to other areas, and the other one is, most of all, something damaged in your own area with some cables.
So something got caught, or there was a traffic accident that stopped a repeater, or something like that.
Yeah. So one is for internal issue from us, and the other one is related with outside.
All right. So you're saying the estimated time of service restoral would be, when?
The estimated time to return of service would be exactly, Mr. Green. Exactly. Let me go ahead and check it. For the first one would be 12:15, and the other one would be 11:33.
So it's going to be noon before you guys get this addressed.
Yes, it should be noon. Right now, Mr. Green, I'm reporting your calls. So in case that the issue is resolved before, they can call you back.
No, do not call me back on this number. I've asked the automated system to text me. Do not call this number because it's on the air.
Okay.
Please, just if you can just text me, that would be greatly appreciated. If you call me,
okay, sir. They're
going to call me and say, "Oh, well, it's just going to be terrible," because it's going to be an automated system that calls me. It's not going to be a person. Let's face facts.
Okay.
Yesterday, I got 4 automated calls from Comcast, and when I asked them to text me. So please, if you can just make sure that the system texts me and doesn't call me.
Of course, sir.
That would be greatly appreciated, sir. I want to wish you happy holidays and Merry Christmas, despite the fact that the service in my area is really doing me disservice. I mean, it's not a service; it's a disservice at this point. But it's a problem if I can't get our phone calls on the air because the system's down and I'm paying you to not do that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I understand if accidents happen and people dig up cables and people damage equipment and there are it's a highly technical business. I understand that I'll use this analogy. If you got a watch and it's just a basic watch, a wristwatch, it's just a basic watch, and then you got a really complex watch, one that does calculators and all this other kind of stuff on the watch. The really complex watch breaks down a lot more than the really simple watch. because there's a lot more crap on there, right? Same thing with this technical service. The more technical it is, the more difficult it is to achieve, the more it will tend to want to break down, or more easy it is to disrupt service. So I get it, but despite that fact, as a customer at this end, it doesn't change the fact that I don't have an ability to put phone calls on the air. It's probably a problem. So I thank you.
Yeah, that's true.
I thank you for your time, and I wish you happy holidays, Merry Christmas from us here in this country.
Okay, great. You too, sir.
I hope you get something nice under the tree this year.
Yeah, I also decided the same for you, and I hope the phone will be working those days for you, sir.
Well, thank you very much. I need it to work today, not those days. I need it to work today, and preferably this morning when it really matters. I'm in morning drive right now. I can't do anything if I can't get guests and callers on the air. It really kind of sucks. I got to do it manually through a cell phone, and that's not very fun. So I'm just going to use that for now, but yeah, you're killing me. You guys are really killing me.
I know. But a question, sir. Before we leave the call, have you ever tried to use the voice to go? Or not at all?
Voice to go?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
Well, voice to go is an application of Comcast for the phone where you can use the home phone number and your cell phone.
Yeah, I know. Here's the thing. I do a radio show, so I have 7 phone lines back at the studio.
Oh.
And they're none of them are Comcast lines. They're being supplied by Comcast service. In other words, I wouldn't have. It's voice over IP, so it's not just one line. It's 7. So there would be no application for that, and it's tied into studio equipment, which means that you can push buttons and put them on the air. You know, there's a LAN there. There's a whole bunch of stuff that makes all the calls available to put on the air and call screening and all this stuff. And your to-go product will not help me. But I appreciate that offer. It is a kind offer.
Okay, Mr. Green. Well, I hope this gets fixed very soon.
I do too. Can you please note the account that there's an outage that I'm complaining about it, and I'd like to get at some point. I know you can't do it. I'll call back later and have them do it when I've got time. I can't do it now because I'm on the air. But I'd like you to note the account that there's an outage, and to anticipate me calling back for a credit for said outage.
Of course, sir.
I appreciate your assistance, sir. You have a lovely day, and Merry Christmas to you.
Okay, the same, Mr. Green.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. All right, so that was not representative of the call that I thought I'd get, because 9 times out of 10 I get scooted around and I get people hanging up on me and people playing games, and this guy was willing to answer questions, which is a little different. I could understand him clearly, which is a little different. There's still a little bit of a cultural barrier there in the way. But it doesn't matter. I still wished him Merry Christmas. It was all cordial. The fact of the matter remains, can't get the studio that I'm paying for in the other. I got a guy there. I'm paying a couple of people to be out there to work that studio. Studio is useless if it can't get on the air. If it can't connect to the internet, the studio is garbage. Here's the Bobby response. You want to hear the Bobby response? I'm putting it on the air. People do not work this much. If you don't give me a break, I will not be working for you. Then go the fuck away. I'm not going to chase you around.
People don't work that much.
With your delusion about how much people work. You're not responsible. Full of excuses. And you're going to fail. So I told him, go the fuck away. I'm not going to chase you around with your delusion about how much people work. You're not responsible, full of excuses, and you're going to fail miserably. Go repair your car with money you don't have. And ain't gonna get.
My husband's 64 years old and works 50 to 60 hours a week.
Yeah, there's an example. He wants to say he worked 7. You already owe me for 70 hours, he says. Look, you're only working a grand total of 88. Is it 80 hours? What is it? It's 64 hours. You're only working 64 hours, right? It's 10 hours a day, or it's 8 hours a day times 8. 8 times 8 is 64. 64 hours times $10 is $6 or $640. That was what he's already trying to say. I owe him $700. The whole kit and caboodle was only worth $650, and he's not even finished the last 3 days. You see what kind of crap we're pumping out in America for workers? This is what we're pumping out. This is a guy who was homeschooled, who wasn't going to have any favor in public schools, and so he was kept under the thumb of somebody who thought they were going to teach him better, and they didn't. They taught him nothing. They taught him that if I wipe your butt, you'll never be responsible. That's what they taught him. I don't have a problem with homeschooling. I'm saying he's never been socialized. He's never been out in the world where he can see other people making responsible decisions and working, and he can't reflect on his own life if he can't see the social ability. Right now he's saying, people don't work this much. He's just delusional. People work 2 full-time jobs every day, all day long, because they pay mortgages and they got responsibility. They cannot assess their own lives in an accurate way because they've got no thing to compare it to. So all they can do is make claims about their own lives that's not relative to anything else because there's no tie. So that's what it is. I'm sorry, but that's what that is. So that's the way that's going to work. It says that this was today at 8:31, a few minutes ago. Your Xfinity service has been restored. Let's just see if that's the case, because I don't believe it. So this guy just looked and says it's not restored a few minutes ago. Let's just see. It's possible. I don't know how they can do shit in another country. Well, he can look. He can see. He can look and see the network. He can look on the computer. Let's just see if he's correct. I'm about to see. Hey, it looks like it's logging in. It's logging in. Go figure. So I'm logging into the computer, and I can put calls on the air there. Let's just see. Oh, I didn't do the password right. I got a little slap happy on typing. Fat fingers, little buttons. Fat guy in a little coat. So here we go. I'm not a fat guy, by the way. Am I fat? No. Okay. I'm just making sure. Windows still wants me to upgrade to Windows 10. I am logged into the studio now. Thank God. Okay, so now that I know I can get into this computer, because, let's just get rid of this because we don't need this anymore. Don't need that. No, God. Yeah, I got to get rid of that. Come on, close for me. There we go. Aw, look at him. Him's getting some loving. The pooch, the foster dog is in heaven right now because he's getting love strokes from the Janine. He's like, hey, you never pet me before. What's wrong with you? I like that. All right, so what are we doing here? I'm going to log out of this. I got to log out of the home studio now so that we can. Okay, I got to close this down and open it back up and then log into the other computer. There are several desktops there. Make the studio go. I'm logging to the wrong one for that purpose. I was just testing to see if we can get in at all. Apparently, I can get back in. But not until 8:37 after morning drive is pretty much, wrapped. So logging into the phone computer now. And let's just prove that we are connected indeed. I've got it pumped up on the air here. Oh, I'm not Skype connected, so I got to do the Skype connection in order for you to hear the studio. And then I'm going to answer my own Skype. Oh, I can't answer my own Skype call because I'm into the other computer now. Hold on, I got to log back out. That sucks. I can see I can't put them on the air here though. I can put the phone on the studio board there and make the dial tone hit. But if I'm not connected to that studio board sound-wise, then you'll never hear a thing. So let me do that connection first. I got to log out of here again. Damn it. See, this is what I got tech guys for that should be doing this instead of me, but, well, tech guy, I suppose. Let me just be clear about tech guy. He's just not responsible.
Nobody works that much.
Look, we've been out here working longer hours than Bobby could ever think of.
I just don't understand where he got that from. Nobody works this.
This because he's never been socialized to understand that people work their asses off out here.
40 hours a week?
This is 8. Yeah, this is a 40-hour work week, but we're just working 8 days in a row.
Well,
So he's getting 16 hours on the end of 40, which is, hello, ring-a-ding-ding. It's simple math. Did I do this wrong? I think I might have. No, I'm back in. Okay, so now I'm back into this computer again. Now I got to answer my own Skype call. So let's see if I can do a ring from here. So here comes the Skype call. 844-420-TALK if you want to call the studio. It sounds like our other show producer is going to pick up some slack where Bobby left off. And thank you, Brian, for doing that if you're listening. If you're already at the studio, thank you. And I would have said thank you to Bobby if he'd even just showed up late. At least he showed up, right? At least he put some effort in and he did it. Right now he's just, fuck that. I'm just going to not do it. All right, here we go. Making the Skype call. What do I do? I've got very bad eyesight, so I got to lean towards the screen to see what the hell I'm doing. Yeah, but you know that, but nobody else can see me squinting at the tiny screen and leaning across the room. Okay, here's the making the call now. Here comes the noise. All right. So I've answered my own call. Now I can hear myself on the other soundboard, so that's all good. A little feedback there. I'll turn it down a little bit so you don't hear it as much. Oh, I think I can turn that down. Oh, I'm getting some terrible feedback there. All right, I gotta have to do something with the speakers here to get rid of that. I think it's the team viewer. If I mute that. There, that helps. You see, it was the volume on team viewer. My connection through the I've got a way of connecting into the studio like remotely, which is what I'm doing now, independently, like logging into that box, and it's that connection with audio on it that was causing the problem. So I pulled that up and blocked it and muted that audio, and so now I'm sure I'm on that studio's audio because let me log out of this computer now and log back into the other one so that I can answer a regular telephone call. I'll just prove to you that I can by putting the dial tone on the air. Cell phones don't have dial tones, landlines do. Voice over IP lines have dial tone. So let's just prove that we have dial tone here on site. And I got to go to, where's the phone screener stuff? Oh, damn it. Did I log back into the wrong one? I did. I'd logged right back into the one where I wasn't supposed to be. Hold on. I'm sorry. Distracting myself here. We need 116. Logging back in again. Please tell me I got the right box. I do. Okay, here's the proof that we are logged in. Here's the proof right here. There's the dial tone. There's the dial tone. So this is what, if you call somebody, if you're listening right now to our live broadcast, call 844-420-TALK. 844-420-8255. And I'll just sit here and watch the screen, and I'll put you on when you call. 844-420-8255 if you want to join us on the air this morning. We're doing the marathon broadcast for MiLegalize. This is the Full Melt Show. I'm Steve Green. Good morning. Just as a time check, a quick time check, it is 8:42. We're nearing 9 a.m. already. It seems like the time is just flying by. Computer's got the time in it, so I don't need to be in that other computer. I can just be in this one. I'm in 3 computers at the same time. So this live section has been up for 93 minutes. It has an additional 206 minutes. So it's been an hour and a half, and we got another 3.5 hours before it shuts down. And then we have to, click live again. It's just a limitation of the service we use to get on the air. But I've proven that we're back up. So, it seems, Brian, if you're in the studio already, can you give me a nod? Can you give me a heads up, a yay? Good morning, by the way. Hello. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Is there a Brian in the studio? He said he was headed that way. He's probably stopping at the McDonald's and getting something to eat. That's what I'd be doing. Okay, well, there you go. So you know what I'm going to do in the meanwhile? I should go back to our audio because I stopped the regular audio from our regular normal commercial production. Let me see if I can open something up here. So where are we at here? There's a folder. There was a folder. All right, here we go.
The Full Melt Show is...
No, don't do that way. I'm just going to drag this into Audacity, then I can control it better. I don't know what hour we're on, so I'm just going to drag this over here. Wait a minute. There's 2 already over there. Let me see what we got in this. This is what we started with. Oh, that's not helping much. Oh, it's down there. Oh, don't get bad vision, people. It's a terrible thing. I've had bad vision since I was really, really little, and I'm used to it. If I was, blessed with this disability later in life, I'd be freaking out that I can't see what I used to always be able to see. I mean, I'm probably going to be blind when I'm older. That's how bad my vision is. It's just probably inevitable that I'm going to have a cane and can't see anything. Right now I see blurs. Everything's blurry if I don't have corrective lenses in contacts. I can't wear glasses because I'd be wearing the frickin' what is that? What's the telescope? My brain's not working already this early in the morning. The big telescope that's up there in space. The space telescope. What is that? Oh, good Lord. I should know this off the tip of my head. It's just escaping me. That's what it looks like. I have a space telescope attached to each of my eyes. That's how the glasses would look on me, even with the thin, lightweight technology. I still would, and everything would be grossly distorted. That's how bad my vision is. Your vision's bad if you put glasses on and you can see everything's in focus, but it looks like you're walking. You ever looked at a Christmas bulb or a funhouse mirror? Mostly like a Christmas bulb. Or a shiny bowl, like if you got a shiny metal bowl and you look in the bottom of it, you can see your reflection, but your face is all twisted because it's molding the edges of the bowl. Or if you look at a Christmas ball, same way you get the reflection, but your face is all like, it's almost as if your face was plastered on the ball. It's twisted, it's malformed. That's how vision is with me with glasses. So I'm sure when I get older, it's going to be terrible. I've got to readjust the timeline so that we're back at, where are we at, 46? Yeah, so we're going to hit a commercial break here now, unfortunately, because that's where the commercial breaks normally lie. So I'm going to play a song when we get back from the commercial break. I haven't figured out what it's going to be yet because I just want it to be something energetic and fun. In the meanwhile, you're listening to the live broadcast on location. It's a remote broadcast, 8 days in length, 24 hours a day when Comcast is up and running. Of the Full Melt Show, and it's the marathon broadcast to legalize cannabis for adults 21 and over in Michigan. We got all kinds. Look, it seems like more people are interested in this broadcast in other parts of the country than our own people here in the state. That's what the stats are telling me. I mean, when I look it up, that's what I get. I don't know. We got so much to do, so much to accomplish today. First off, we need you down here now. Come say hello to us. We'll put you on the radio. We might share some libations with you if you're a medical patient holder. I don't know. I'm not going to be objecting to it, that's for sure. Oh, big stretches. Get your morning exercise out, kick it in the can, get to work, do what you're going to do, but get down here to 400 South Thornton, sign that petition. We're counting on you with everything in us.
You're getting the Full Melt.
Promotional consideration provided by NoSmell.com, pioneering the storage market for cannabis users. The No-Smell patented bag technology offers users 100% smell-proof detection from even the most sophisticated of noses. NoSmell.com, so nobody knows. When placing your order for a no-smell bag, make sure to use discount code FULLMELT and take 10% off the entire order. Learn more about no-smell technology at nosmell.com.
They're eager to learn, eager to succeed, eager to make the world a better place. And they want to make it to school safely. Share the road. Take care when passing. And always leave 3 feet between you and people on bikes. Bikes are legal road vehicles. We're all drivers.
Hey, it's Steve Green for the Sweet Leaf in Flint, because now getting safe access to medical cannabis patients in Flint, Michigan is never more welcoming. Presenting the Sweet Leaf, a brand new patient experience bringing The Sweet Leaf Center in Flint, 810-259-2571.
Imagine a world where patients can use marijuana like any other medicine. The Marijuana Patients Organization challenges the status quo by helping our neighbors to enjoy a better quality of life. Visit the MPO at marijuanapatients.org and enjoy informative articles, engaging debates, and information about treatments, doctors, and dispensaries in your area. Over 50,000 people have registered at marijuanapatients.org since 2010. Join us at the Marijuana Patients Organization today, marijuanapatients.org.
When you need legal help, you don't want to guess at who's standing next to you in court. And when it comes to a medical marijuana defense, it's even smarter to partner with a lawyer before you need one. Based in Royal Oak, David Rudoy has a proven history of not being afraid to take your case all the way to the Supreme Court and win. Find the law offices of Rudoy Law
at RudoyLaw.com.
RudoyLaw.com is a quick reference on your rights concerning Michigan medical marijuana
and up-to-date news.
That's RUDOI Law.com. Call 248-935-9074 now and talk about your legal needs, because at RudoyLaw.com, we don't just stand up for you, we stand up with you.
If you're like us, your pets aren't just animals. They're members of your family. Pet Pain CBD hemp oil drops are great for aging as well as active dogs and cats. Some people are apprehensive about hemp treatments for pets. They ask us, what are The allure is all of the benefits of cannabis without any of the high. The CBD oil has shown to rejuvenate the bones, joints, brain, stomach, eyes, and heart. And the drops contain absolutely no corn, wheat, soy, artificial colors and flavors, or preservatives. Pick some up today. Visit petpain.com or ask for Pet Pain at your local pet store. Petpain.com. CBD relief for your pet.
Introducing Sacred Elements, a place for natural and alternative healing for the mind, body, and soul. Sacred Elements. It's one place, all solutions.
Alternative healing services, specialists, natural and health goods.
Sacred Elements.
Classes and training, healing circles and group sessions.
Sacred Elements.
Belly dancing, yoga, meditation, and crafting.
Sacred Elements. Next to the Sweet Leaf, 400 South Dorr Highway, Flint.
11 to 7 daily, closed Sunday.
Call 810-259-2570. It's the Full Melt Radio Show.
Radio show.
Yes, it is. And we're on the marathon broadcast. We're on day 5. Actually, we're to day 6. I take that back. We got today and then Thursday and Friday, and then we're done. At the end of all this, we're going to be presenting our gathered signatures, probably in a shameful way, because we horribly underachieved our goal. That's what it is. Perhaps the goal was lofty, but I don't think 5,000 signatures after rolling through 4 cities in 2 days and staying open 24/7 to take your signature. I don't think that that's too much. I don't. That's what I got to say about all of that. So I do want to throw some tunage in here just because I just think having some music around is a good thing. Let me just log back into my own stupid phone. I've always said that we tell the truth here on the program. And hey, look, I'm not going to be politically correct about stuff. I refuse to do that. I'm not going to coddle the popular notion with some popular ideal. Look, I can be respectable, but I'm going to be an adult and respectable. If I want to use the F-bomb, I'm going to use the F-bomb. Get over it. When have you not heard the F-bomb?
And we've now heard the C word.
Oh, I'll use the C word too when it's appropriate. She says, "Don't use it around me, bastard. I'll bash you across the room."
I already done it once.
Comcast. It might not be the Comcast word either. When I say the C word, I'm not talking about Comcast.
You need a red light that says on the air.
Yeah, well, I'm on the air 24/7. Who needs a red light?
Well, I forget.
Look, if I'm on the air 24/7, I hang a red light out there, people think I'm hooking. I'm just saying.
No, so I know to keep my mouth shut.
Oh, I see. Well, you already know that I'm on the air. I'm always on the air. She
Retarded. I'm not used to
She says she's retarded. Bobby's excuse is he says, look, I'm half stupid. I'm like, wait a minute. What's half stupid? It's like the guy the other day when I was walking through. There was let's call him portly. He wasn't fat. He wasn't not fat. He was just portly. He was portly. And you remember when we were hanging out at the Puff and Stuff in Lansing. We were right there on the end, really right on the corner. I mean, if you stepped too far, like 5 or 6 steps outside the door, you were in traffic. But it wasn't traffic because there was a 4-way blinker light there. Great place to stop people long enough to get them to see the pot leaf on the back of the thing that says legalize underneath. You flip the clipboard around and then you see the signature campaign. Hey, come and sign it. You run your finger across it. Hey, come and sign flip it over, see the pot leaf. Come on over and sign the petition. There was a guy coming back just on foot. This poor 24, 25, I'm guessing. But he's walking back, and you could tell that this is the kind of guy that's an underachiever, right? You could tell that this is the kind of guy that's taking metal shop because it's a cheap elective. Not because he wants to learn about metals. He just knows that he can go smoke cigarettes in the bathroom because it's a bunch of dudes, and the guy that's in charge of the class is welding right now. I mean, that's what it's about. And he might not even be welding in front of other students. He's just welding his own little side project over there because he's really doing work at work so they can get paid a second paycheck for doing one job. I mean, that's the kind of stuff you got going on. But in the long run, this portly character coming back from there's a party store, literally kitty corner. What we call in Michigan, we call them party stores, but really they're convenient kind of shop that's got some grocery items. They got pizza on the hot pizza behind the counter. They got beer and wine, and they got some. They might even have booze in there. I don't know. They sell cigarettes. No liquor in there.
Didn't have no liquor.
Zero.
Yeah.
No beer, no wine.
No beer, wine, but no liquor.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah. See, that's the thing. A lot of beer and wine licenses in Lansing. So that's what it is what we call a party store, but every place else in the country calls them convenience stores. If you go to a 7-Eleven here in Michigan, we're calling it a party store. We'll still call it a 7-Eleven. It's like Kleenex. I was using this example the other day. Everybody wants a tissue, they ask for a Kleenex. Here, if you're going to a 7-Eleven, we're going to the party store. It's just like the no-name brand coverall for convenience. We call pop here. We call it pop. I mean, hey, give me some pop. You got any pop left over there? Every place else in the country, they call it soda pop. Hey, or they call it a soda. I'm looking for a soda. You got a soda in there? We call it pop. If you start calling it soda pop, you're living in the 50s. There's no soda jerks around anymore. You know what a soda jerk is, right? It's a guy that won't sell you the Mountain Dew. I'm just saying. I'm just kidding. No, it's not a soda jerk. A soda jerk is the guy in the 50s when they used to have the malt shops. They didn't really have bottled pop, as it were, except for maybe Coca-Cola. But the soda jerks at the malt shops, they called them soda jerks because they would jerk this lever that would fill the bottom of basically a big glass of what's going to be soda pop. They'd fill it with this flavoring, and it was this jerking motion they made when they would put the filling. It's basically a syrup. And so the syrup's got the sugar in it and the flavoring, and then they pour the soda water in, but they called them soda jerks. I personally think a soda jerk is a guy that ran out of Mountain Dew or didn't stock the cooler. He's a soda jerk. We redefine these things as we go, don't we? Do we got time again? We're running out of time? No, you can't run out of time. You see, I got all this stuff I was going to do. I can't do it. So this portly guy, I never finished telling the story. I've got to finish it up before the top of the hour ID and get something else ready to go. There was a delay in my own broadcast by not starting the next hour. I got to get it ready to roll because it's coming up shortly. So back to the portly guy. Portly guy's walking back across the street. He's got a 1 liter of Faygo, so it's like the cheap pop. That. Is it opening? I hope it's opening. Come on. Doesn't seem like anything open. What does it say? I don't want to pin it. Damn it. All right, I got to find a different hour. Let's see what else is in here. This is not what I envisioned. Getting some dings. So we want to hear the response back from Bobby before we hit the break? Oh boy. Here comes the Bobby response. He says, "Well, I'm just getting up now after getting home last night. It seems not fair to consume my life like you are. It has been 5 days and well over 40 hours. I told him that you're getting paid for 8 hours a day times 8 days. It's $650. It's not, if you decide you're going to stick around for a while because you got to wait for somebody else to come because you guys are trading off time and whatever, that's your thing. It is. It's not. It's just the way it is. You call that flex time. In the business office, we call that flex time. If you want to trade office hours with another. No flexibility in the Bobby. He thinks I'm overworking him, that I'm consuming his life. Guess what, Bobby? Work consumes your life. Get over it.
The Full Melt Show is a production of TFM Media.
So you're going to have to open up another. It's not opening up fast enough. It's just killing me. I had to double click something and it just is like, you know what? I'll open up when I'm ready to open up. See, this is why I need a studio guy back here running that back audio, because I'm just going to get, every time there's a delay like this, now I got to wait for the stupid thing to open up. I'm filling time at the top of the hour when there should be a station ID playing. Go figure. This is not the Howard Stern Show. Just telling you. No. Although, and I'm not trying to be the Howard Stern guy. I'm just saying.
One of him is enough.
No, yeah, one Stern's enough. And you're not going to see me on AGT telling people that they're great or that they suck and that they'll never amount to anything, unless it's Bobby. If Bobby was on AGT, I'd sign up for to be a judge in a heartbeat. Yeah, the reason if Bobby was actually listening to the show, he'd be pissed off enough to be there at the studio answering me back, is what he'd do. Bobby doesn't care about listening to this show. Back to the ID. Here we go.
The Full Melt Show is intended for a mature audience. It contains adult themes, adult content, and sometimes adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
It's the Full Melt Show. Are you high? What are you talking about?
It's the Full Melt.
Oh, yeah? We're on
The
here?
Full Melt Show. A marijuana discussion about news, culture, politics, and lifestyle. FullMelt.com. Toll free. 844-420-TALK. 844-420-TALK.
All right, we're back at the top of the hour here, doing our thing here. It's the MiLegalize broadcast. It's a marathon broadcast. We're making it a marathon regardless of the number of participants in said marathon. I'm Steve Green, and we are here 24/7 until Friday. We have been since last Friday. And, Bobby just hung up on me. I'm trying to do the intro so I can get to the Bobby, and he's like, you know what? I ain't got the time for this crap. I'm just going to hang up. Hang on. Well, yeah, but he's like, I'm just going to call him.
I know, you're so jealous.
Hey, there you are. Good morning, Chief. So, are you grumpy-eyed this morning? You got cranky eyes? We're trying to get some energy up in you.
No, I'm just waking up right now.
now we're using the desktop to broadcast with, or at least to remote broadcast with, and I've got the cell phone tied to the soundboard here remotely. Now, I'm also Skyped into the studio, and I'm remote controlling from the studio because, Brian couldn't get up at 5:30 in the morning to come out and replace you, so he's... Yeah, he said he's on his way there. But see, it's almost 9 o'clock. I mean, we're 5 hours into this.
No plan.
Or whatever, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, 4 hours into it.
Yeah.
So,
well, yeah, dude. I guess I forgot to tell you, but yeah, I can't be up for more than. I have to get at least 8 hours of sleep, or I'm not going to cut my sleep short over this.
No, I know, but when did you go home yesterday?
It's not fair to be getting 4 hours of sleep a night. That's too much work for me. I thought it was going to be 8 hours a day, not.
Well, it is 8 hours a day, Bobby. That's all you get. Wait just a second.
No. I put it in like 18 hours.
No. Wait, just don't argue it. Just listen to me. I told you. Wait. Just zip it for a second. Let me say something. We started this conversation, and Brian was part of this, so he'll. Home, and how are you getting back in the morning?
Dude, I don't know, but all I know is I can't figure things like that out after 16 hours of dealing with
it. Wasn't 16 hours, dude. When did you got there? When yesterday?
You woke me up at 3 a.m. last
night. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't call you at. No, I didn't either. I didn't call you at 3.
And I didn't get home until 6.
It's just, well, okay. Your wake up time and the time. When.
Because I was sitting there trying to get up at 3 a.m. after, by the way, only getting a few hours of sleep the night
Wait a minute.
before.
So I didn't call you. I texted you at 3 o'clock saying the power's out. Is there anything can you go check it out? Because I was broadcasting. Here's the thing. You asked me this morning by text. You said, look, nobody works this much. You're wrong. You know what? Janine's husband is twice your age at least, and he works. How many hours a week does he work?
My point
wait. No, she's answering the question. Just let me. Sleep. I need sleep too. But I can't sleep if I'm busy picking up peripherals where people didn't leave some detail, left it undone. Look, everything's got to be perfect for this broadcast to work out, right? Everything's got to be right. There's got to be people in places to make things happen. If they're not there, everything falls apart. All the effort of everybody else is lost by your inability to be where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, well, it was supposed to be 2 people at the studio, and I'm pretty much doing it all, don't you think?
Well, there has, but wait a minute.
By the way, has not been just a little bit more stressed.
Look,
I'm my wife, and I'm not supposed to.
You're supposed to be at work. You're not at work. You're dicking around.
I don't know what Liz is doing, but I'm up now, and we'll see if she wants to give you a ride. I don't know.
It would be helpful if you could be there. Right now, Brian's there trying to cover what you were supposed to be doing. But here's the point, Bobby. Time is your time. I can't divide that out and make it work for you.
Yeah, I'm not asking you.
What time did Robert take? What time did you get sent home last night, Bobby? When did you get taken home?
Brian.
So I hope you show up.
I don't want to get paid for time I'm not working.
All right. Well, yeah, but I'm not going to pay you for the other time either if you're not going to complete the job because it means nothing.
Like that. You know what, Steve? The hell with you too.
That's fine. Show up at work and you'll get paid. You see what I got to deal with? I got children on the phone. You don't get... So the job was an... Oh. I'm not getting paid a damn thing to sit out here. I'm out here doing a job because other people don't know how to do it. I'm out here stirring up commotion to get attention for a cause because it's worthy. And we put methods and places together where people... all because they're too confused about life. Oh, I'm cranky. Oh, I woke up grumpy. Wah! Pull up your bootstraps and do it. I'm cranky and grumpy, too. I've had very little. How much sleep have I had in the last week, Janine?
A couple hours.
I mean, realistically, I've probably had maybe 10 hours total of sleep in the last. Oh, I need some chutzpah. That's what I need.
Well, I made you some tea with some magic honey, but...
Look, I wasn't besmirching it. I just didn't want to drink it and fall asleep. Because tea makes me down. Look, tea, I can wake up in the morning, drink tea, and I'll go right back to bed. Just because I'm full of energy, drink some coffee, and somebody gave me coffee at a theater once. They're like, I'm kind of, movies kind of put me to sleep. They gave me some coffee, and I was out. Hey, good morning.
Hey, so is Brian filling in? Is that what you said?
He's there right now, but
I got to go get my car out of the subway parking lot before they tow it away.
Well, no, you don't. What you can do is you can call the people to tow it and have it towed back to over by where you're at.
I'm going to go deal with my car. I got to take it to the junkyard anyway, so it's got to get dealt with, not just towed someplace.
So if you're going to tow it to the junkyard, call the junkyard, have them pick it up and tow it to the damn junkyard, Bobby. You're playing games here, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, well, I want paid for it. I'm not just going to throw that away.
You're not going to get paid, dude. They're going to come and tow that thing. It's not worth what they're going to tow it for, dude.
Well, I can. Maybe you couldn't, but I can, and that's what I need to do. That's part of my responsibility of my life.
No, it's not either. No, it's not either. You should have done what I told you to yesterday. Leave the car in the parking lot and get a frickin' ride. No, I'm calling Liz. I'm calling Liz and telling him, don't you take him down there. I'll just text her. Tell him not to take him down. Unless you're taking him to work.
their past and something that might happen in their brain.
Leaf, 400 South Dorr Highway, Flint.
11 to 7 daily, closed Sunday.
Call 810-259-2570. It's the Full Melt Radio Show.
Radio show.
So the drama, why? my challenge. Constitutional Congress. You form I'm not talking about it's a constitutional convention. It's not a Congress. Congress is what runs our elected representatives from the state that run the federal government. However, there are measures in place inside the Constitution that give the states the ability to form and address any issues or modify any things inside the Constitution that need addressing by modern times. And they intended this to be probably looked at and reviewed every 10 or 20 years. Nobody's done it once in the history of the country in over 200 years. And so we're dealing with antiquated, old ideals that were intended for a time gone by 200 plus years. So, yes, they're great. This form of government, in my opinion, is by far the best form of capitalism that they've come up with. But capitalism always results in the rich people controlling all of the rest of the poor people, which is 2% to 98%. It always results in this oligarchy. Every time you run capitalism, because it's not a political game. Capitalism is not a political process. It's not a political system. Capitalism is an economic system. It's a system of economy. And if you run capitalism, back in college they used to, teaching us about animal diversity and if you start to tinker with the animal population in the wild, what that means. They would have us run computer simulations. So wolves and rabbits, for example, they would say if you impact the rabbit population, you can run a simulation to show what happens to the wolf population when you take the rabbits away or take their numbers down. What happens is the wolf population declines as well because their food source went away. But then you got the opposite. If you run the test, it's just a computer program that says these are the variables and carry them out over time. And at the end, you will see that in the wolf-rabbit thing, the populations go up and down and affect each other in a natural way. If you eliminate the wolves, the rabbits explode. If you eliminate the rabbits, the wolves die out. Well, they decline. But you're going to have a permanent impact by eliminating either. By leaving them both in place, they naturally check each other and balance each other by way of supply and demand, which is another version of economics, right? So if you take that same computer simulation and you run capitalism through it, at the end of that computer program, every single time you end up with a bunch of rich people that are few in number, controlling all of the money for the entire population, which represents the remaining 98%. 2% control the remaining 98%, and now you have an oligarchy instead of a capitalist society. It's still inside of capitalism, but now you're slaves to the people with the money. This is why Rome collapsed. This is why all other great capitalist societies have eventually collapsed, because they never address the issue at the end of the rich people being in control of the poor people. The masses end up overthrowing the poor people, create a new government, and vis-a-vis, you've got a whole new system in place. So if the American people don't sit by and realize that they're going to have to address things like the Constitution through a constitutional convention that makes sense about modifying policy from a foundational Second Amendment. There's nothing wrong with the Second Amendment, but if you're intended to keep a government gone awry in check, which is what the Second Amendment does with guns, it's no longer applicable if you don't have a Stinger missile to match the government Stinger. And you're not going to get approval from the government to have missiles and other weapons of mass destruction because it would be a disaster. People would be blowing things up everywhere because people like to see things go boom and don't care about the consequences. Especially in a society where we've become very Rome-like because we're gluttonous. We overeat, but we're busy entertaining ourselves in giant stadiums full of people, entertaining ourselves while the important stuff about life goes awry in the background because you're so busy being entertained. And this is why people like me and these kinds of programs have to roll up your sleeves and get something done. Where are we at in the commercial break? It seems like I've lost track of all commercial stuff. It's 9:32. No. We should be hitting a commercial any minute now, but I don't know where that audio is. So, Brian, are you back at the studio by chance? Can you tell me if you're back at the studio?
Yes, I am.
Hey, there he is. Can I get you to, by chance, and thank you for picking up the slack where Bobby dropped off this morning. I don't know what's going on with Robert, but he's back in another land where taking care of a dying car that's no longer going to work anymore is more important than just showing up to work to get a paycheck. I don't know what he's going to do to get a car if he's not going to show up to get paid. I don't know. He'll have to figure that one on his own, I guess. I mean, I don't think I'm asking too much from the Robert. He thinks that somehow I'm trying to control his life by working the hell out of him. And I just want to say that I think you've probably worked more hours than Bobby has. And I'm pretty sure I've worked more hours than Bobby has. I'm pretty sure Janine, as a volunteer, has worked more hours than Robert has. But somehow Robert is being overworked and needs his 8 hours of beauty sleep every night. If he doesn't get his 8 hours, he's too cranky and can't deal with life. Wah. Pull up your bootstraps, Bobby. Go to work and get paid. That's what Americans do. Look, Brian's not there. Brian came there this morning. He's like, I'll come and relieve Bobby this morning, but he wouldn't be there at 5:30. And I'm like, However, Brian showed the hef up. I mean, at least he's there, and he's doing what he can do, right? He's doing what he can do. If it's not there at 5:30, at least I can give credit for Brian for coming in and picking up the slack and doing something. He's doing something. Thank you, Brian. He's doing it in lack of somebody else not doing what they said they would do. And I don't want to hear about my car's broken down because there was a ride offered to you, and it was offered to you home and back. You had this covered. You're just making excuses because you don't want to sit in that building and work that soundboard and not know necessarily when you can go home because your car's not there anymore. It's uncomfortable. Wah. I'm working too long. Wah. I didn't get enough sleep. Wah. Yeah, guess what? Nobody else does in America either, Bobby. Sorry, I'm getting off the Bobby bandwagon. So if can you find a piece of audio and cue it up to the because I don't even think I should be in a commercial break now. It's just not playing. And I've got no eyesight and too much connectivity over here to figure out where the hell that audio is. It keeps disappearing on me, and then I got 4 other things open that aren't playing, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? This is why I need a board op and a producer to help me keep that shit in order. So, could you find a piece of audio? I don't care which hour it is, Bob. Robert. I'm sorry, I keep calling you Robert. Good Lord, I'm like an old man now. I'm like an old man misnaming his grandchildren. Brian, if you could find any of the 4 hours and cue them up to the next commercial break, which unfortunately is going to be, I think, the 40 or 50 break. It's going to be like the 51 break or whatever, because we should be in break right now, and I'm not playing any break. Which means I'm going to have to go through the entire break and then the next program segment, which is going to be 47 or 50. I think it's 51 minutes after is when the next break happens. I think this is the second longest break in the hour, and there was no break, so, it's going to be a little while before we hit it. But just cue one up to, like, the first commercial break at the end, at the last commercial break of the hour. Cue it up to there and start it at the, on time, if you would. Start it at the, the 50 mark or wherever it's on the timeline there. And we'll just pick it up from there, and then have another one, the next hour, ready to go right behind it, because there's only going to be a 10-minute span, and then we're going to have to go into another hour. That'll get me back on track, and it'll help a lot, Brian. So I'd appreciate that. We finally got Skyped into the studio right about the time you said, "Hey, I'll be there." I'm like, "Oh, damn! Now I can control the studio." Listen, hey, Janine, can I ask this of you? If I gave you some cash, could you run down? Is there a Walmart near here? Do you know there's about a Walmart in Flint? Yeah. Could you run to the Walmart and put some cash on a card for me, so that I can make that cash available to some of our producer people, so they can get out here when they're done out